What's up, you guys? It's your girl Janelle of Cope with Janelle. That's Climb Over Problems Every Day. And I am coming to you today with a topic that is near and dear to my heart, or to my head, I should say. ADHD. Yep, yep, yep. Here's a funny haha, but not really funny haha. I actually wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was, I think, 39 or maybe 40. Yes, your girl is over 40 over here. I know I don't look like it at all, but I digress. Again, that's that ADHD. I went from one topic to the next. But um, it's not I'm not surprised, especially as a clinician, because I've always had the habits of being forgetful or jumping from one topic to the next or switching from one task to another task without the first task being finished. Hello, somebody. I've always had the messy room when I was growing up as a kid, but I was always the creative one, that would think outside of the box, or, that would make stuff out of random items like Q-tips and string, making people and whatnot. I was always the one that had the energy that was moving around from here to there, that would talk to anybody about anything. Um, Sometimes I was good, sometimes it was bad. Okay, school teachers, I know y'all probably got fed up with me at some point. But I thought it would be important to come to you guys today and give some background to ADHD, because I've noticed that a lot of the youth, the children clients that I do have that have ADHD, one of the biggest fears that they have, or it's not necessarily a fear, but more so a challenge that they deal with a lot, is that challenge of being labeled or titled like the bad kid, or the one that always gets in trouble, the kid that's always messing up in some kind of way. And I want to send a message, a very clear message, to those children, as well as to those parents and to the teachers of those children and any adult that's dealing with those children. If they are diagnosed with ADHD, though some behaviors may be developmental, I mean, we still got to parent and we still have to, raise up our children as a village. However, if they're diagnosed with ADHD, some of these things really are not avoidable, and you can't parent or discipline out of ADHD. So let's just go back for a second and really look at what ADHD is. First of all, it's not something that you're going to catch if somebody starts coughing or sneezing. It's not it's not a disease or something that you just, you know, develop over time. There's a very strong genetic component to ADHD. So if your child has it, one of y'all got it, probably. Mother or father. Hello, somebody. Look at your own habits. I know I have mine. I tell my daughter, who has ADHD, and my son, who has ADHD, I said, I'm sorry, I gave y'all the gift that keeps on giving, because they both have it. But I know now that I also have it. And it shows up real big and real bad with the laundry. Oh, the laundry, the bane of my existence. Especially kid laundry. Come on, baskets on baskets. But we have the habits as the adults, and the children also have those same habits. So even though my daughter's room is a hot mess.com, I really can't say that much, because, like, I have stuff all around my room as well. Now, does it look like that down in the den or in the living room or in the dining room or whatnot? Like, no, because you know how we are as adults. We will keep those areas, those common areas, looking pristine, honey. We'll make sure that if someone comes in, they don't see. They don't see. But we need to see. We need to see what we do, and we need to see what our children do as well. So it's a genetic component of a diagnosis, okay? Um, it's not something that generally people will get rid of. It's not a get rid of thing. It is we manage it through different coping strategies thing, or through a change in eating habits, or even taking medication for it specifically. One of the things that I find that is challenging for my parents in particular is that they try to discipline the ADHD out of the children. Child, in retrospect, in hindsight, because I'm an 80s baby, so I know what it's like to when parents try to discipline you out of ADHD. Like, oh my gosh. And the frustration lies because the child keeps doing the thing. Yeah, they keep doing it not because they are just like, I am wanting to be disrespectful. I am wanting to have all these consequences all the time. No, it's probably most likely due to the impulsivity or the fact that alongside with ADHD, most times you'll also see some anxiety. And that's because there's that impulse issue that maybe a person may have, because there are really three types of that ADHD or ADD: attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or attention deficit disorder. There's three types. There's the type that deals with the hyperactivity and the impulsivity, lots of movement, lots of impulsive choices. We're not thinking before we do. And then there's also the second one, which is the inattentive type. I can't remember what I'm doing. I lost my keys. Oh, wait, they're in your hand. Oh, is that you? Okay. There's that inattentive type. And then the third type is the combined type. Yes, there is a BOGO. There's a buy one, get one free. There is the combined type that has the hyperactivity and the impulsivity as well as the inattention. Oh my goodness. That is something. My daughter has the combined type, and and so does my son. They're both have that hyperactivity component, but they both also very much need one step directions and probably those same one step directions repeated. So, um, when you have, either of those three types of ADHD, it's really important to try to have more empathy and understanding for the behaviors that come alongside with it. So if your child is continuously having a hard time waking up, let's just go back to the basics for a second. ADHD is much like, everyone has seen, or maybe not everyone, but if you've seen that movie Inside Out with joy and sadness and anxiety and all of them, whoever did, whoever is the writer of that, let me tell you, y'all were spot on with that Inside Out too. I loved it. Come on, anxiety. Y'all watch it. I don't get a kickback for any of this when I shout people out, but I digress. So if you think about ADHD, it's kind of like, in Inside Out where they have that console and you have all of these emotions. Think of the console as the executive functioning. When you have ADHD, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not stupid. Your brain is not defective or it's not working or something like that. No. Think of it as the executive functioning part that is in your frontal lobe or in your the prefrontal cortex. I think that's what it's called. I'm trying to sound extra smart. Let me open up my book, make sure I get that word right. Hold on, people. Let me see. In the frontal cortex. In the frontal cortex. Okay. Anyway, but your executive functioning is that switchboard. And let's say it takes a while for that switchboard. You know how you try to turn something on electronically and it takes forever to turn on. That's kind of like what ADHD is like. The executive functioning takes a minute to turn on, but that's the thing that's necessary to tell all of the other parts of your body what to do and the other parts of your brain what to do. So when it's time to wake up in the morning and your child does not want to get up, hello, I have this at the house, it's really important to exercise some grace when that is there, because it's that executive functioning switch panel has not all the way lit up and turned on. So what I do now with my daughter in particular, here's a little nugget. Maybe you can give it a try. I know that it's going to be a hot mess. if we just start hollering and doing all of that stuff, because you cannot discipline people out of ADHD. Remember that. One of the things that I do is I will put my hand on her, like rub her face or rub her arm, and then I will now ask her, come give mommy a hug. I need a hug. And when I do that skin to skin, much like how we did when we had the babies, you do that skin to skin. It encourages the body to start to produce the endorphins, the happy genes within the body. It becomes a better situation. Not a perfect situation, but a better situation. Because remember, the executive functioning moves slow. But I just wanted y'all to keep that in mind. Um, I want to give y'all a tool that you can use potentially with your children if you find that your children do have ADHD. And this can also be helpful for you guys. I know I love to give you guys some tools. So this is a book that I absolutely love to use, especially with my little ones here that come for therapy. Thriving with ADHD workbook for kids. It has like 60 different activities in here that I like to use. And this was by Kelly Miller. And I just really think that this was a wonderful book that allowed for practical advice and rituals to use with your ADHDer where they can feel successful, starting from morning routines to bedtime routines to making good habits or establishing good habits, to making good decisions. And how to bounce back when we make bad decisions, because that has to be an option. We know the bad decisions are going to come. We're impulsive, right? There has to be a rewind, or there has to be a reset of sorts, okay, in order for our children to continue to feel like they can have success. All right. So ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. There are 3 different types. I'm going to include some links in this video that you can click on to use as some resources for your children and for yourself. Above all, remember, we cannot parent our children out of ADHD. We cannot discipline them out of ADHD. Believe me, I tried. we can't do it. And my parents tried, and they failed epically. Sorry, mom and dad. I still have it. So I just want y'all to be fully aware that it's okay if there are these things that are being dealt with. There are things that we can actually do to circumvent some of these symptoms, like specifically with our diet. I know that it's easy to go through a fast food line or to get some processed food. But the foods that actually exacerbate some of the ADHD symptoms would be processed food, fried foods, sugary foods, foods with red dyes in it. Those are all like things that will exacerbate the ADHD symptoms. So a more natural, good fat-based diet would be helpful. Things such as nuts or berries, if you're going to give your children fruit. Like Charlie loves to eat strawberries. I'd rather her have berries as opposed to a sweeter, fruit in particular. Grains, lean meats, or fatty fishes like salmon. Different things that would actually help to encourage the brain. Meditation. Meditation does not mean that you have a different religion. I need people to understand that. If I say the word mindfulness meditation or that phrase to some of my Christian constituents, some of them look at me crazy, like I'm not. This is not tied specifically to a religion. There is something so simple as being fully present and aware of your body and doing practices that allow you to get into that space. So when I say mindfulness meditations, doing some breathing exercises, breathing in through the nose for 4, out from the mouth for 7, that actually adds oxygen to the brain, and it lowers your heart rate, which allows you to become more calm and relaxed, as well as to think more clearly so that we can have the opportunity to make some rational decisions as opposed to impulsive ones. These are just some tips and tricks right now. But if you want more, I want you to click on the links and definitely come back next Wednesday, 12:11, same time every week, for some more tips and tricks from Cope with Janelle, because we all have to climb over problems every day. Bye.